name is Lisa Daub, and I am the founder of the Strong Impact Academy. And I created this business to help organizations develop people-first cultures that promote high levels of engagement, accountability, and productivity. And we do this through group coaching, one-to-one coaching, classes and courses for small business leaders. And we also help by providing these monthly masterclasses to help you take your business and yourself to the next level. So I grew up in a really entrepreneurial family, and I observed from an early age the kinds of struggles that all businesses go through. I bought my first business when I was 22, and I quickly learned that I didn't know what I didn't know when it came to leadership. And so to me, leadership has less to do with your job title and more to do with how you live your life. You have to lead yourself first. And today's masterclass is all about leading yourself, making choices for you that will cause a ripple effect to everyone in your life, your friends, your family, your colleagues, and your employees. I am super excited to have my friend, Dr. Chris Hux, join us today. And so Chris is one of my COVID friends, as is Jeff. And thanks to a world that's moved online, I met Chris last year and have since had numerous conversations with him, attended networking events with him. Still don't know what he looks like from the shoulders down and have no idea how tall he is. So for those of you that don't know Chris, he's a physiotherapist and a running coach who helps his clients develop a holistic physical therapy treatment plan that focuses on mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and social well-being based on the techniques he learned when he needed to get his own life back on track. Chris also helps people with sedentary jobs achieve and maintain pain-free and complete lives. So if you're like me and tend to choose Netflix over running shoes, then this masterclass is for us. And all right, Chris, I'm going to hand it off to you to educate us.
Awesome. Well, very good. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to Lisa for putting this on and inviting me to this masterclass. We've been really looking forward to this. This is a subject topic that we're just very passionate about. And yeah, just so excited to just to talk to you guys about this and just educate a little bit and just make sure that all our cups are full, and not only full but overflowing, because that's how we're going to be the best leaders to serve whether it's coworkers, our friends, our family, our clients, and everything else. So title is Keep Your Cup Full and Overflowing to Lead and Serve Others. And as I go through this, if anyone wants to go off mute and stop me, ask a question, feel free. I want to make this very interactive, and more questions the better. So here we go. All right. So looking at my company, my vision, my passion. So my name comes from the Phase Forward, and the whole idea behind this is taking each individual and looking at the whole spectrum. So even though I do the physical therapy, I do run coaching, so that's a lot of physical. After just a lot of brainstorming with my wife, friends, on how to really kind of form this acronym, this is what we ultimately came up with. And when you break it down, you have the F for faith, O for outlook, R for running, W for wellness, A for adventure, very important. The second R for recovery, and D is diet. So I truly just believe in the holistic approach. So even though if I have a runner that's trying to run their first half marathon, we will look at all of these things to make sure they're just getting the true benefit. Because as a lot of you guys know, we have a lot of runners in here. It's a very demanding sport, so we have to have all these things truly working to progress our running, progress our life, et cetera, et cetera. So just a huge believer in this. I'm not going to go through each one. We'd be here for for hours. I'll say 30. We'd be here for about 32 years because that's my age. But we'll just kind of touch on each of them. Oops. Let's see, is my picture coming? All right, there's supposed to be a picture. It's not coming up for some reason. But the picture that represented, and I know you guys can all appreciate this, it was the physical health, the mental health, spiritual health, and emotional health. And it was really neat. So Jeff sent Lisa this awesome PDF. I believe Lisa shared it in the chat, but it's actually something you can use where you can use this PDF, and each bucket has those different components, and for each day just write in where you're at, write in goals. So it's something that you can really use to just keep you accountable and make sure you're getting complete health and ultimately a fulfilled health, because they all serve each other. You know, when you're pouring into that spiritual health, the other three are going to benefit. When you pour into that mental health, the other three are going to benefit, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, that's truly complete or fulfilled health. Oh, my pictures aren't coming up. Let me see here. Maybe I'll just do that. All right. You guys can see that? Okay. All right, let's just do that so we can use the pictures. Pictures are vital. So starting with the running component, the physical fitness. This is really my expertise. You know, I've been a PT now for 6 years. I've been running now for about 4 to 5 years, and this is what has really helped take my life to the next level. Just having these different running goals, whether I'm running my first 10K, half marathon, in the process of running a full marathon. Did have a little bit of a hiccup where I had to rehab an injury, so I had to be on the other side, which is a very humbling experience. But I'm glad I went through it. But now, yeah, back on the marathon training. But yeah, so all these components are so vital with running. Combining other exercises on the running. So doing things cross training such as like swimming, cycling, doing gym workouts. Those are very important to make you a stronger runner. So you can just take some days off from the running, the pounding of the pavement, I call it, and do these other things to keep your body going, keep your heart nice and strong, et cetera, et cetera. And then this picture, I love this because it says exercise is the most potent and underutilized antidepressant, and it's free. So, just kind of what I was talking about, how they're all combined, they all really feed each other. So exercise can feed that mental side, that emotional side, especially if you're having a tough day in your business, maybe you're a little overworked, you're burnt out. It's running just a great way to get to free your mind and start getting those creative juices going that you can bring back to the business with you. So I wanted to get us up and moving, do a few exercises. So we'll do run specific movements and a stretch. So we'll all stand up. I'll take you guys a few exercises that I do with clients. I guess Lisa's going to be able to see me from the shoulders down here. And I have Renee to check everyone's form for me. And I also have my buddy Daniel, PT student. All right, so
I got you, Chris, but I can't see Daniel, so I don't know what's going on with that.
might be studying. I've been there. All right, so let's start with a shoulder / neck exercise. So what you're going to do is just bring your head towards your right armpit, almost like you're sniffing your armpit. Bring your hand and pull your head towards your armpit, and you're going to feel a nice stretch from your opposite ear down your neck. Then once you feel that stretch, just start lifting your arm up slowly and go to the most range of motion you can get, and then come down slowly. So come up, feel a nice stretch in the neck, the shoulder, the arm, and then come back down. This is great when you have a busy day, when you're sitting a lot, you can stand, do this stretch. Good. Now let's do the other side. So take the left hand, pull down to the left armpit. Now we'll go right arm. Same thing, lift up. Feel a nice stretch in the neck. Slowly lower. Reach that arm up. Deep breaths during this too, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more lift there. Right arm up. One last deep breath. Let it out. Okay, shake that out. All right, so now we'll do a running specific exercise warm up. So I'm going to balance on the right leg, and then just have a very slight bend in the knee, core tight, and then from here start pumping your arms. So almost like you're running in place. And start out by going about 50% of your max speed. And then go a little faster, go 75%. Trying to keep the hips as still as possible. And now go full speed, 100%. Go, 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 go. Everything you got. And relax. Okay. Now we'll go to the other side. So this is getting your body ready for the single leg activity, which is running you're on one leg 98% of the time. So this one helps get that ready. So go left side. So first balance, get your stability, core engaged, and then start pumping 50%. You might notice one side's a little bit more difficult than the other. That's normal. And go up to 75%. Keep those hips still. And then max speed, as fast as you can go, almost like you're sprinting a 100-meter. Go, 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 and relax. Nice job. We getting some blood flowing? All right, so we'll do one more move. So we're gonna do what's called a high lunge. So you're gonna step one foot forward. So start with the left leg, left foot forward, and bring those arms up. And then switch. So step forward, arms up, and then switch. Forward, arms up. Feel a nice stretch there. Switch. Step forward, arms up. Feel a nice stretch in the hip. Okay, step back. And go forward, different move here. So now rotate to the left. Good. Right foot forward, rotate to the right. And one more there, left foot forward, rotate to the left. Right foot forward, rotate to the right. And good. Shake that out. Nice job, everyone. These are great stretches, great exercises that you can do for running, and then if you're sitting a lot throughout the day. Always nice to move during a Zoom meeting.
I wasn't able to do the running one, but the neck stretches are really nice. I spend a lot of time sitting at a desk, so.
Awesome, Sean. Yeah, keep those up. All right. All right, next topic is nutrition and wellness. So I have a lot of patients, a lot of people asking me about nutrition and wellness, you know, what I eat, what I believe in, all that good stuff. And, you know, what I always say, especially someone that's a beginner when it comes to nutrition, one of the keys is colors. So making sure you get a wide range of different colors with your nutrition, especially the fruits, the veggies, all that good stuff. And as you guys can see with this picture, and this picture is just beautiful. You know, it just has all those different colors at the bottom there of your different berries, bananas, you got cucumbers in there, red peppers. So the more variety, the better when it comes to nutrition. And as you go up that pyramid, you get up to the grains, the leaves, the more the fatty vegetables, such as or fruits, such as avocados, nuts, and all that good stuff. And then this also paints how many servings we should be getting each day, which really none of us get as many servings as they recommend. I think it's around 10 to 13 servings of fruit and veggies. If you're not active, if you're active, you need more like 14 to 18 servings. So quite a few servings. And you know, for me, I used to eat meat pretty much every meal, but I've slowly just kind of eaten less and less. I'm not strictly vegetarian, strictly vegan. I do eat my fish, chicken every once in a while, but I'm a big believer in just the more colors, the more plants, more fruit, the better. And then the last topic is recovery. So after you've done your good workout, you're training for a race, so you're training a couple of days out of the week. We need recovery. Recovery is so vital, and I usually prescribe at least one rest day a week for my runners. Then really anyone I'm working with in fitness, at least one rest day. So vital. Most people, especially very active individuals, they want to keep going. They want to hit the gym every day, or they want to run every day. But what I always say is taking that one day off. It's almost like the Sabbath. You take that one day off, 24-hour period. That just and you're ultimately, once you take that day off, you're going to come back so much stronger. So that next day and then throughout the week, you're just going to be regenerated. Your body's going to be ready to go. Your mind's going to be ready to go, et cetera, et cetera. So like this picture says, it says rest day, because rest should be part of the plan. So it should be a part of your plan every week. And then this little thing is 10 tips to better sleep. So maintaining a consistent daily schedule, reducing caffeine intake, turn off the computer or television, don't go to bed on a full stomach. So avoiding eating most of your calories at the end of the day, which most people do. You want to eat more of your calories for breakfast, for lunch, so you can have those calories throughout the day, metabolize, et cetera, et cetera. And then the opposite is don't go to bed on an empty stomach. Engage in regular exercise. Limit beverage consumption before bed. Number 8 is keep your bedroom dark and quiet. Number 9 is invest in a comfortable mattress, pillow, and bedding. And then number 10 is go to sleep and wake up using your internal alarm clock. And that one is amazing. I've found I'll use an alarm. Maybe I had a recent change in schedule. And I'll use an alarm for maybe a week or two, but then it just becomes second nature. If if you're going to the bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, you just don't need it. You can just pretty much, get rid of that alarm because your cycle has changed. So yeah, recovery, rest day, sleep is just very important. Any kind of exercise program or running you're trying to do. And that's it. So now we go to the Q&A. And any question you guys have, any insight, feedback would be awesome.
Chris, you talked about burnout and how what you do and having this exercise program can help with that. But how do you start? I guess is my big thing, because when you're feeling burnt out and you're feeling overwhelmed with work and with family and all of this stuff, the last thing sometimes that you feel like doing, even though you should do it, is throwing on a pair of running shoes or doing some stretches or doing some exercises. It feels like one more thing on the to-do list. So what kind of advice do you have for people that are just almost they're already in that burnout phase and not just heading there to get started?
Yeah, absolutely. I have two tips for this. One is planning and scheduling the day before on that specific workout. So say you're going to do a run in the morning. So getting everything ready the night before. So getting those shoes out, getting your outfit out, just having it all ready at that. Say you're going at about 7:30. So then it's easy. It's easy to go into it because now you don't have to search for clothes and put other things in front of it. You just put everything on, get ready, and then try to start really light. So maybe you're used to doing like a workout for 30 minutes or an hour, or maybe even a run. Just start out with 10 to 15 minutes. Just make it very, very, very easy. Because the key, and this is actually from Atomic Habits, is showing up day after day after day. So you build that muscle of consistency and showing up. That would just, once you get that habit down, then you can progress to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, et cetera, et cetera.
Excellent. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions right now? Because I have a list. I'll just keep going. Because I am that person that it's like, I should do this, but I don't do this. And, we all know that we should eat better. We should exercise more. We should do all of the things. So let's talk about Sean's here. Sean's, a plumber, has a trades type business. A lot of my clients are trades type clients. So they feel like they get a lot of physical exercise throughout the day when they're working. How important is it for them to also have something else, and why?
I love this one. So a lot of this type of clientele are these type of jobs. And this is where we bring in the other buckets, the mental side. So no matter what occupation, what trade, whether it's demanding, sedentary, when you're in work mode, you're in a certain mindset. So even though if you're doing plumbing, construction, and it's very demanding, you're in a certain mindset of job. It's a job. You're doing that to make money, supply for your family, pay your bills, et cetera, et cetera. So even though you are getting physical activity, which those are demanding jobs, you still should supplement them with some kind of activity. And it could be as simple, since you're getting a lot of physical activity like strengthening, you can do something as simple as just doing a walk, which isn't too demanding, and just letting your brain be free, just so it can kind of like what Jeff says, just kind of like live in the moment. So it helps you just to really just stay present, and you're out of that job mentality, and it just builds that mental muscle. But then you're also, you're also still working out your heart. You're doing a prolonged activity, whether it's walking, running, swimming. I always tell people too, like, do what you love. So if it's swimming, don't feel like you have to run because everyone's telling you to run. Make it swimming, because that's really too how you're going to be able to show up consistently and everything. So that's a very good question.
I just had a question about frequency. So I have a mountain bike that I love to ride, just because of the amount of time it takes to get to the good trails. I don't go very often during the week. I usually go for a couple hours on a Saturday or a Friday night or something like that. Is that still beneficial, doing it, sort of saving that up and going for 2 or 3 hours on one day instead of spreading it out and doing it all during the week?
Yeah. So I'd say the biggest thing with that is, do what works with your schedule. So if it kind of makes me think of, with my longer runs, I save them on the weekend when I have the most time, and I just don't have time constraints, or I have to do something before and after. So if that's how it is for, say, with your mountain biking, where you do like a long session, 2 to 3 hours, that's great. And then through the week, don't feel like you have to hit the 2 to 3 hours each time. And if it's too much work to do, travel out there, do the couple hours of racing and back, you just don't have the time, then you can do some other activities to cross train or to supplement your mountain biking.
Is it okay if I add just a tad?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Please do.
We need to relook this back up, but it was for a time 150 minutes of regular exercise per week was our rock bottom. So I did not take the time to look it up. I just jumped in here, but to answer that question, Sean, as well, Chris, you did a great job answering it. But for those who need numbers and things like that, we all want to prevent disease, which is not sexy. But we do want to prevent disease, which is partly why we move even when we don't feel like it. So we can relook that up, but regular exercise typically is defined by 3 times a week for a minimum of 150 minutes total. So, but then in my training and in what we do, we keep in mind people that sit. It's interesting to have people on the screen that sit all day. Chris knows this too. You have a client that sits all day, or a patient that sits all day, and you have a patient that moves all day and bends over and picks up heavy equipment.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Renee. It is important to look at the numbers, and also too, just that makes me think of the importance of the individualized program. And as I was talking about, just looking at a person as a whole person, not just the physical activity. So looking at all those components, and then just taking that into consideration, what they do for work. They're a morning person or the evening person. So just taking all more information you can gather, the more of a program you can make that really works for the person, then they can stick to it.
So I want to pick on Jeff here for a minute, and I am going to share the buckets. Got the idea from Jeff. Can everybody see the 4 buckets there? So I did get this idea from Jeff about filling these buckets every day, and then I took it, and I like to have things visual and be able to share this with people. So Jeff, can you talk to us a little bit about, because I know that you're also a runner, but can you talk about the mindfulness that comes with that, and how even it just lends to our spiritual health.
Absolutely. In fact, I had unmuted myself because I was going to ask Chris kind of the same thing. So very cool. And Chris's company, the F stands for faith, and that's the starting point for that company. And the question was going to be, and it really came from Lisa, your comment: how do you get up off the couch? And for me, that talks directly to how it fills the emotional and spiritual buckets, right? Especially now, I'm 69 years old. There's a limit to how physical and fast I'm going to be running. There's just no doubt about it. And I have embraced that the scenery goes by more slowly now, and I have enjoyed watching that. And some of you know me, and you constantly get these pictures of me running by the lake or going by the lake and stopping like that. It has given me such joy to be able to be a part of something bigger than me, the nature. And that's something you can do. You can get off your couch and just take a walk around the block and find something you've never seen before, something that makes you smile, something you find interesting. That's going to fill the spiritual and emotional buckets for you. You get check marks for that. As far as you use a good word, the mindfulness piece, on the mindfulness piece, getting in touch with, I don't wear headphones and things when I run. It is all about listening to the breath and just getting in tune with that, and being aware of everything around me, colors, shapes, people, things like that, without judgment, but without any interference from music and podcasts and things like that. And it is about relaxing your mind. I hope that helps.
That was fantastic. Thank you. And so, Chris, I want to switch gears a little bit. And I want to talk about, you and I have had these conversations numerous times about how what you do as far as the whole physical health and what I do as far as leadership development and training, and how they actually kind of work together. And similar to the 4 buckets, when I'm doing a leadership course, we talk about capacity. We talk about, do you have the capacity to be a leader? And we talk about 4 different types of capacity, which is emotional, intellectual, physical, and time. So I think we've touched on the time thing. And Jeff and I had this conversation yesterday. When people say, I don't have time, it just means I don't want to. So, you always kind of have the time to do that. But some of the things, resiliency, self-discipline, these things all really help to be a great leader. So how does the stuff that you do, and maybe specifically running or that exercise piece, how does that help build those things and that different capacity?
Yeah, great question. So when I look at running and I look at just physical fitness, it truly tests the body in just so many different ways. Test the body and the mind. So as you're running, as you're building miles up, you're building a lot of resiliency. You're building focus, you're building discipline to continue to show up, even on those days when you don't want to run. It's the last thing you feel like doing. Those days when you still do the run end up being the best runs of the week. The best runs of the week, when you're at the end of that run or finish of that run, you got this new creativity. You got this just new outlook on something. And when when I look at leadership, it's very similar. You know, you're ultimately, serving people, and you have to build a resiliency with different types of personalities, different types of people that you're trying to help. I would say, I know you can agree with this too, Lisa. It's not about your position, not about being above the person. It's more about how you interact with them and really make them better. How whatever position they're filling, how can you use their talents, their gifts to maximize. And also when I look at leadership, like, so this person you're helping with, they shouldn't be in that position forever. Maybe they're your assistant. You want to train them, you want to build resiliency in them so they can progress in their life. They can go to another position. Maybe that is starting their own business. So I'm just a big believer in that. And yeah, when I just look at the resiliency, the discipline, the focus, all those are just so necessary in business, leadership, running. And the stronger we make that muscle, the more we can just help people, serve people, and everything.
Yeah, it's great to have everybody here and to have these conversations and expand our minds a little bit, that we're working with our whole lives. It's not work is a bucket and life is a bucket. It's finding all four of those buckets and filling them up the best that we can in everything that we're doing every day.
I love that.
And any parting words for us, Chris?
Let's see. I want to expand on what Jeff was saying, and I love that he noticed the first component of the acronym was faith. And I remember I went back and forth if I should include the faith. Is that gonna scare some people away? Because they hear this faith word and they're like, and it wouldn't have anything to do with me. But I decided to put it, and not only put it, but put it first. Because what I found is the faith really fills, like when you kind of look at the buckets. So the faith fills the rest of the bucket that's still empty. So it really fills it up. So when you have the faith component, and you use that faith component in the mental side, the emotional side, the physical side, it takes, one, it fills the bucket up, but two, it just takes your vision, your outlook to the next height. Because then it takes, I feel like it takes it from your shoulders, and then you just have a greater purpose, and you have assistance and whatnot. So that faith is truly meant to be number one, and that just floods to the rest of the acronym and everything. So I appreciate you pointing that out, Jeff, and wanted to share that. So
and it doesn't matter what religion you are or what you have faith in. I think that we all learn at one point or another that there is something bigger than us, and finding that faith is huge, right? When it comes to goal setting, when it comes to everything. So I do like that you have that first.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I'm not going to keep anybody any longer. I know that it is a little bit before 1, but I think that we've had just such an amazing full conversation today, very rich, and I thank all of you for being here, and thank you, Chris, for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and motivating me to get off the couch.
One of my logos is get off the couch and fix your ouch.
Love it.
You can't steal it. I worked
That's
super
good.
hard to come up with that little fifth grade rhyme. Okay.
I'm already writing it out.
No, that was like a 45-minute cycling ride. I was like, you're not getting off this bike until you make things that rhyme. That's one of them. So.